What's happening, guys? Fallen from OTB here, coming at you with another air-based video, and we're going to learn and continue to learn about how air strats are working on the base meta of these days. We can expect bases to be changing here shortly. I'm just kind of wondering exactly when and how and what we're going to be looking at when bases do change, but for now there are a lot of air attacks that are working extremely well on these bases. So we're just going to jump into this here right away. My attack on number 5. This is, once again, just literally all the reasons why I love air on a base like this. The goal here is to have Queen be able to pick off that scatter shot right there. We know that there is a little bit of a Tesla farm that is sitting very inconveniently right there in her way, but she's barely going to get that pick off, and this is where it's all about getting your use of your heroes. And if that means getting rid of, we go for scatters, air defense, Inferno towers, Tesla traps are very nice as well if we can get heroes involved with that. It's only going to be able to help later with the cleanup process. So Queen is going to go just far enough to get that pathing set here, so we know that we're going to have to be able to get drags over to that eagle, so we're going to have to carve out a little bit of a side here to assist with getting King over there. So we started the dragons here. No air puffers going against us, so that's very good. Got a rage that's going to be going up that can be used on the queen. We want to freeze the queen and the single target inferno. We notice that there is air defense up top right there, as well as all those big hefty defenses, so we want to get those down. We want to pop the ability, so everything's moving forward here, and we want to be able to heal that compartment up top there by where we want that eagle to go down. Meanwhile, we are exploding everything down south right here. Everything blows up. Troops are actually hiding within that spell, which is perfect. It allows those dragons to move actually right past where Town Hall would be and where the CC is. And we have so many dragons alive that we're going to be able to start our RC down here at the bottom. RC is strategically placed wherever you want her to be. She does a really good job at cleaning up the places where the dragons aren't. And those wizards finally... Oh, wizards are damaged but still alive. And now finally down, RC sweeping around. We have one spell. This is my goal at this point in the base. If you can have one spell available to pick off that final compartment, here is just going to be buying time for the Royal Champ to be able to move in and get the kill on the air defense and the single target Inferno. Drags did the rest. Once again, as I always say, these bases never get smashed, but if you're Royal Champ, if you got a plan for the Royal Champ to make it that far, life is good. We're gonna get those last buildings down there, and then deal with that up at the top. That is a really good base to be able to hit with air. I absolutely love the Whiz Bomb, and I love sending the Blimp with the main troops. It has opened my eyes to things that I haven't been able to do before. So we're going to jump into Drum's attack here. He is the master of the bats. So, another base that has that same kind of base meta that we're dealing with nowadays. We're going to start our heroes. He loves to work his heroes together, I notice. Which is great. We're going to be able to pick off that air defense, and we're going to kind of transition into where the drag loon is going to be coming in right here. So we've got the pick right there. Sometimes you can be a little concerned about what's going to happen to the Eagle artillery. Saving it for last is never a good option, so we do need some troops to work their way over there and make sure and get that done. So using the ability a little bit early here can come back to bite when you are talking about tornado traps that are right there. So as we can clearly see, the blimp did not make it. The Yeti bomb did not make it to the town hall, so we're going to have to earn that spot with the dragons. Fortunately, we didn't get to the 50% yet, so the town hall has not been activated, has not been touched. Everything is fine, and you'll notice that the dragons will just kind of naturally move in there when it's their time. So that is perfect. Things are working out well so far. Dragons, once again, are going to finish with that, and here they are into the middle, just enough dragons to deal with it. Then we got the bats starting around the outside here. You're always going to want to send them on the weak side so they can deal with everything that the dragons are not able to deal with. You will find that you will have to invest a few spells earlier than you hope, just so those bats can spawn and be able to take out those compartments that you need. And then the Tesla farm on the back end right there is beautiful for bats to take care of. Now this is, I'd consider this base crushed because all of those dragons are still alive. The bats have really done their job except for the few that have died there, and everything is clean up. The queen is still alive because he preserved her early. That's a really good job there by Drum. Still doing it with the bats. It's working. Probably the most right hand strat that you can use these days, especially because this clan used a significant amount of single target infernos. So things are just going really well right now. Gonna jump down to 13, where once again, Drum has annihilated this style of a base. Here's a more central town hall, so it's not just hiding in a corner. But here's what's going to happen. He's going to be able to push the king around here. King actually goes... Doesn't he go the wrong way? I was disappointed. Oh, no. We're good. Oh, he does. That's where it happens. Okay, so that's a little bit of a bumski to see all of them run around. That's okay. Air defense is dead anyways. Queen is once again going to be moving with them. So we're going to get the hero sniped right there, which helps out a lot later, because you're going to get the picks that you need to keep your dragons focused on defenses instead of heroes. So that's always good. We did kill everything there, so here we come in with the wall of the Dragloons. Obviously going to be just kind of lurking around the corner here. Everything's going to push forward with that haste. I like how we added the haste into that. Here we go. We got the ability set to make sure those loons stay alive. Everything moving together nice and slow. We're going to have that blimp bomb down on the town hall. A lot of damage coming in right there. Also some healing, which is a little freaky. But we got the pick. We still have that single target inferno alive, but we'll see what happens to that later. And meanwhile, those dragons are still pushing forward. Your goal is really, you get the dragons this far, and you can then begin to start using your bats at any time. So make sure that there's not, that there still are dragons alive. Here we go. We're going to deal with that outside craziness right there. And once you're making sure that your dragons are still alive, you're just buying time for those bats to come in and do it. So once again, we're seeing, the dragons are dead at this point, but here the damage is done, and really we're looking at a lot of single target defenses at this point. So as long as there's nothing too huge of a surprise, we make sure and triple freeze or do however many freezes we need to do on that scatter shot, and make sure it's dead, which it is. With all the bats still alive, just a few defenses, you can rely on the bats to do the cleanup for you at this point. They will split, they will help, and he had so many extra freezes on that attack. That is what would be called, is that a 6-star right there, with all those leftover spells. Bats separate, everything goes its way, and we've got just a wonderful job on cleanup. One dragon alive. You'll notice if you can just get that work in with your heroes, and your Royal Champ is going to do a really good job there on the back end. Things were done very, very well here. So we're going to jump to number 15. Here we go, Ziga. So he is working with the E-Drags quite a bit, and so he's got E-Drags and bats. Now, this is a concept that this attack maybe didn't work according to plan. I mean, it did work, so we have to acknowledge that fact. But anyways, what we're doing here is we're trying to push those heroes forward into get that air defense, most likely. Possibly not. Either way, we're pushing things around the outside there. Unfortunately, that king got locked onto very early right there. That's very sad to see, but it happens. Queen's going to come forward and get kind of stuck here on some things. So here we go. We're coming in from that corner. Keep in mind, once again, we are going against the puffer, so we need a plan for that. Either take out the air defense or you add a haste, anything you need to add right up there. We're going to need to use that ability here in just a second. There we go, to make sure that everything is able to move forward. So you're going to notice he comes in at, I believe, up top with the bats, and they didn't last long. But think about how long they could last if used properly. I actually think, because of how slow E-Drags are, I think it's actually really important to have a back-end plan for them, because all my E-Drag attacks make it about 80% and they die. So there's always a plan that's needed, and they just need a lot of spells to do so well. So here we try everything up front, and then what happened? I remember watching this very briefly. Oh, the scatter shot happened. The scatter shot happened. Okay. So there's another freeze. Okay, that's fine. So we used all of our freezes on it. You're gonna just have to deal with those splash. But it's picked off enough defenses here that really we just have a couple more things we need to deal with. We're going to speed it up because of how slow E-Drags actually are. So we've moved everything forward. We're picking off those final defenses. Also, E-Drags getting stuck on heroes is another just disaster of an event to happen. But the good news is E-Drags are so tanky. By far, the owners of the air, when it comes to tanking, they have so much HP that scatter shots really don't do too much to them. So they might be able to kill bats, they might be able to kill loons pretty decently, but their E-Drags are going to be able to tank them pretty well, as long as it's not all the E-Drags together, as long as not everything is getting hit per scatter shot hit. So that's wonderful there. We have one last one, number 21 from this war. We should be winning this war. We have our backup hits to do now. So here, if this isn't one that I just put on YouTube not long ago here, I literally copied my plan from the last strat, and this is just working so well. It's getting better and better over time. The one thing that's different is that single target Inferno is there right on top of the Eagle artillery, so it's a little bit freaky. Things started locking on a lot earlier than I was hoping, so I did have to hurry things along by using all the abilities and whatnot. So we're going to get that kill right there, but then we're going to start kind of struggling on these heroes. So we had to freeze again. I don't even know, I'm not sure if that was even the right thing to do, but so we got the king dealt with, but that's about it. Queen is able to push around the outside, and here's where we start the dragons. And then notice how I'm going to feed the Dragon Riders in on those defenses that we know are going to need to die. So we go 2 up top because they have really good damage. We rage over that Queen, make sure she's dead, getting everything forward. We're going to send it forward, and we're going to make sure those Drag Riders are up there to clean up those very important defenses. Pop the ability here, healing all the dragons moving forward. Everything's tanking very, very well. And here's where just the mass explosion takes place. This whole southern part of the base gets completely annihilated. I think I even hung on to the other two. Yeah, I got what I needed to get from them. We moved, where did we start? Oh yeah, I was just waiting and waiting. Using one of those spells to make sure the troops could get the kills up there. And then, yeah, we sent, usually I like to send the Royal Champ down on bottom, but I noticed things were getting kind of stuck down there. So I decided to go with what was left here at the top and work our way around the other way. It's going to be an L shape no matter what you get with your RC. But those scatter shots they don't do that much damage when we're at this part of the attack. So I decided to push forward and make it so we could just skip a couple defenses and we could just run right over to that realm over there, use the ability, boom, to clean up everything that's needed right there. And much better looking. This attack is so much fun. It is working so well right now, and everything is just really coming together with this strat. So I couldn't be more happy with how this is performing now. I think it'll be harder when we're looking at max defenses, but I really think that the strat will still work. It's just going to have to be a lot tighter, and it's going to be, fewer bases are going to allow it, but so far it's working on a lot of stuff. So that's really all I've got here for now. This attack is working so well. It's just a part of it's just everything on the attack log is just working well here. So yeah, there we go. We have some more air to go for you. And this is Fallen from OTB, signing off.